Some places hold on to the dead, and sometimes the dead hold on to the living. This is not a story I made up. This is a story she lived through. The Flat, November 2015. A young couple, newly married, full of hope. They moved into a beautiful flat in Chicago, spacious, modern, seemingly perfect. But behind it stood something else entirely. A row of unfinished buildings, dark, empty, silent for years. Every night, when they opened their balcony door, those hollow black windows stared back at them like eyes. She always kept that balcony door shut. She didn't know why, she just knew. On their 16th night in the flat, it began. A strange smell crept into the bedroom, not just unpleasant, wrong, like something rotting, something old, something buried. They searched every corner, found nothing. Her husband opened the balcony door to check, and the smell surged in like a wave. He shut it immediately. "We'll deal with it in the morning," he said. They didn't know. There was no morning version of what was coming. They drifted off to sleep. 1 hour, maybe two, and then a knock on the balcony door from the outside, 3 floors up. She woke her husband. "There's someone there," she whispered. "It's your imagination," he said. "Go back to sleep." She tried, and then it came again. This time, even he couldn't ignore it. He pulled back the curtain. There was no one there. The next afternoon, her husband at work, she alone. She lay down to rest, and within minutes felt it. Someone was lying behind her, under the same blanket, in the same bed. She could not breathe, could not move, could not scream. With shaking hands, she reached for her phone and typed a message to her husband. "Someone is in bed with me." When she finally found the courage to turn around, there was nothing there. But the moment she picked up her phone again, a voice whispered directly into her ear, her name, twice. She ran. That night, something entered through the balcony, a gust of wind, violent, cold, from a sky that was completely still. And after that, her husband was not the same. He sat up in bed at midnight, eyes open, unblinking. He spoke in a voice that was not his, a woman's voice, coming from his mouth, his eyes blood red. He shoved her so hard she slammed into the wardrobe. He laughed at things no one else could see. He wept without reason. He hadn't eaten in days, and she could not leave him because she loved him. A pandit came. He could not enter the flat. Something blocked him at the door. But when he finally crossed the threshold, he looked at her husband and said, "There are 3 of them inside him, 3 entities." When asked what they wanted, they laughed, all 3, at once, through one man's throat. The answer came slowly. Years ago, during construction behind the flat, 2 brothers and a woman had died. Their bodies were never properly claimed, their last rites never performed. They had been trapped, screaming in the dark, in those hollow, unfinished buildings, staring at the living through empty windows. Her husband ran out of the flat. By the time they found him, he was crouching on the ground, both hands gripping a raw chicken, eating it, his clothes, his hands, his face covered in blood. She had seen many things in those few days, but this broke something inside her. The old men threw something at him. He collapsed instantly, and they carried him back inside. The men worked for hours. Everyone was sent outside. When he emerged, he said. They are gone for now. But if you want them gone forever, find out what happened to those three people. Give them the last rites they were denied. Only then will they rest. And so she did. She found the truth. She performed the rituals. She gave three lost souls the peace they had been screaming for. But there is one last thing. The man who owned those unfinished buildings, the one who had left three bodies unclaimed, he was present at the ritual. The moment it ended, he clutched his chest and died on the spot. No prior illness, no warning. The men had warned her. They could have killed your husband. They chose not to, because you never stopped fighting for him. She still lives in that flat. She says the balcony doesn't scare her anymore. The buildings behind it are still unfinished, still dark, but no longer watching. Some souls don't leave because they are evil. Some souls don't leave. The buildings behind it are still unfinished because no one ever said goodbye. If you felt something watching you tonight, maybe it just needs to be heard. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel and lets me bring you more real and terrifying stories.